Welcome back to the Backyard Dude. Today, we're going to change it up a little bit. So why don't you give us a recap of what we talked about previously, Andrew?
So far, we've been able to kind of assess the damage. We've got some parts ordered, and so now we can actually start planning out what we're going to do next. We decided that we were going to go with a RaceChip to tune our ECU a little bit, and we're going to go with the GTS Plus model, which should deliver around 50 horsepower gains. So we're looking at taking it from, I think, 147 stock to 192, which is almost going to put us right close to our target goal. We'll be within, like, I think 1 pound per horsepower of a GLI.
So really, one part we're going to add to the Jetta SE, and we're going to be close to the GLI?
Pretty much.
Wow, so all the other parts that we're going to add really can make the Jetta stand out, right?
Yeah, it could really put us over the edge. It's going to be unique, and we're still underweight compared to a GLI, so we might even already be picking up some advantages.
All right.
But I mean, we're not quite there yet because the car's in pieces, so.
Andrew, we got something in, baby. We got the chip in. But I'm so excited, I'm actually going to put it in my Jetta, my 2019 S Jetta, and we're going to see what kind of gains we'll get out of it. What do you think, Andrew?
Now I see why we're working on a 2020 Jetta. This is just the dry run for your car.
All right, let's get into this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this, we're going to show you the chip, and then we're going to go ahead and install it. Let's get into the show. Yeah. So when we were looking at this, there were technically 3 different levels of chips.
So with some tunes, you're just flashing what the factory already has. That gives you a little bit of performance improvement, but then you can actually supplement what's built into the car's ECU with an external chip. So there were 3 levels that had different performance gains. We went straight to the top. It's also going to be app controlled, so we'll be able to choose several different levels of performance that we want at any given time, just like you'd have on a high-end system with different levels of sport mode.
So the application actually allows us to do 3 different levels, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm excited about the top level because that gives us the most horsepower gain. But
Sure.
there are some economical advantages.
Yeah, so the reason that the manufacturer doesn't just give you an engine chip with the most power that it can is they're concerned about things like fuel economy and also what type of gas you're running on. From the factory, you're looking at like 30 city, 40 highway, which is really good. Throwing all that away may not be what you want to do all the time.
I'm actually kind of curious about that because right now, in mostly city driving, I actually get almost 41 miles to the gallon. So it'd be interesting to see if I can actually get, close to maybe 50 in the economic mode, which, I wouldn't do very often, but hey, there are some advantages. We've never tried this chip before, but we thought we'd give their chip a try and see how it works out in our car. Not only my car, because we're excited to put this in my car now, but in our project car.
And unlike the Jetta, it's actually made in Germany.
So this is our wiring harness, and this is the actual connection that goes to the controller. And then we got our main component, the actual chip, which is going to enhance the ECU in the car and give us our horsepower that we're expecting. Doesn't sound like. Oh, zip ties. Check it out. Got zip ties. I thought it was going to be something cool. I guess zip ties are cool. Unique packaging. And these are obviously the instructions on how to install it and get it set up for tuning. I think this is more your avenue, Andrew.
I'll take that. So this looks like it shouldn't take too long, but those are, of course, famous last words. The box is going to mount inside the engine bay, so we're not actually going to have to run any lines through the firewall. It should just be a wireless connection. You won't even have to get out of the car to fiddle with things to make adjustments.
Hey, Andrew, I was just thinking, with the Jetta, We're gonna have to get some benchmarks, right? Yeah. All right, you want to come along? All right, Andrew.
Let's get some benchmarks.
Yeah, what do you think this car can do right now?
Right now, probably like a 10-second 0 to 60, I'd guess.
10 seconds?
Sure.
All right. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna find out. So we have driving and we have sport mode.
We could compare the normal mode to this to the eco mode once we get the chip in it.
That's true. That's true. Very true. All right, we ready? So this is in drive mode. So our first test is in straight drive mode. Go. You were pretty close, Andrew. You were pretty close. 11 seconds. All right, now let's put it in sport mode.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't delivering full power of what the engine's potential is.
About a second difference. That's pretty interesting. Whole second between drive mode and sport mode. That's pretty good. So we got our benchmarks. All right. All right, do it.
Okay. Well, we have some great documentation of a different engine bay.
Oh, do we? Oh, that's awesome.
We're looking for the turbo boost pressure sensor and the manifold absolute pressure sensor. This looks like it's the line to the turbo, because this has the air box sitting on top of it, but the air box is over there. So I'm guessing that is the manifold sensor.
So I'm going to say one of these or one of these is going to go here.
It's going to be this guy here.
And that's A?
Yeah, that would be A.
Oh wait, it's pushing it up when it's plugging in. See right here? It's broke the plastic when we were trying to put it in. Not sure, but see there's a little, you can see right there, there's a little plastic piece. I don't know if that's what's creating the problem. There we go. So the little piece inside was bent down enough that it was creating that, binding it up. Yep.
Jamming.
All right.
Okay.
Does it show how the, oh. So you have to be smarter than technology in the sense that you just can't pull this off. It actually has a locking mechanism. So key component there, key component there. So let's plug this baby in.
So it says if the interface lights up as soon as it's connected, it means there's power in the system during installation, which isn't supposed to happen. So
we're good?
I think we're good.
So no light, we're good. We didn't blow it up.
Bizarrely.
Very good, very good. So let's figure out where we want to mount this thing.
Yeah. Trying to figure out where to put the box, that's the tricky part. Make sure the RaceChip is protected from exposure to water, heat, and vibrations. Well, installing it in an engine bay is a great idea.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? We just take the ECU out. What could go wrong, right? I don't know. But they certainly don't make it easy, do they? I think we're going to be good. Okay.
Grab these to the box. Like on the back.
Oh. And
It's on the under tray.
And it's under the under tray, yep.
Things are getting serious.
Yeah. I think that's going to work.
When in doubt, just drill holes.
We contemplated putting it inside the fender right here and drilling 2 holes on the outside of the car, but we didn't think that would look aesthetically clean. So we scratched that idea. So what we did is I drilled there was a pre-manufactured hole on the side of this bar right here, or fender mounting. And so I drilled a hole right here and then ran the zip tie up through that and then mounted it that way. And then we can still kind of see the face of it, and it's kind of protected weather-wise. And then we're going to zip tie the bottom piece to this to make it more secure. So that's kind of where we're at now. And so we ran our wires down through here, and that gives us clearance from the hood, and then it's kind of shielded and protected from the weather. Let's go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll go for our drive. Oh, oh, oh no. Oh, lost my zip tie. So now we have a little snap-on piece in the bottom piece of the plastic, and we have a zip tie somewhere in the fender.
We've actually just made it heavier.
We found our zip tie, yay!
Weight reduction.
We finally got the module installed, routed the wiring, and then we got the app downloaded and registered. The first 2 that we're going to do is we're going to measure against the economic mode and the sport mode. And then we'll have one additional one, which is the race mode, and see what kind of performance we got. So now that we got this installed, now that we got the app downloaded, and we know our different modules, Andrew and I are going to jump in the car, take off, and get some benchmarks with the new chip. Let's do it. Yeah. All right. Now, this first segment is in economy mode. We've installed the little chipset. We're in drive mode on the car, and we're gonna do this now. 1, 2, 3, go. And I'm almost at 10 flat, and that was just in
Drive and eco.
yep.
So we've already dropped it from sport.
Yep. Okay, we're in sport mode, regular drive mode on the car, and we're going to do this. 1, 2, 3, go. That was horrible.
Yeah, 10.5. It comes on really strong.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it peaks.
Yeah. So sport mode doesn't seem to be better in economy mode. What's interesting though is I think our traction control is killing us, because
That would do it. Yeah.
I think that's what's affecting the sport and the race, because
Trying to stop it from losing traction.
yeah, and it came on.
Okay.
So the lights flashed a couple times. So I'm wondering that's where we're getting a disadvantage, because there's so much more torque and pull. Yeah. Well, fellas, we're going to have to go back and check out the programming on this thing, because the end result is economy is the fastest at 9.79. Which, hey, get the best performance out of the best fuel economy. Can't beat that, right? So I think we're going to have to go back and do some programming, make some adjustments to the application in the app and its stages of programming. We'll have to do another run. All right, that's a wrap for today. So if you like our content and you like the show and you want to see more content, like and subscribe to the Backyard Dude. And now we're going to turn it over for Andrew to wrap up a little bit on the fine tuning that we're going to have to do for this car for our next episode. So Andrew?
So it looks like we're going to have to actually go in to fine tune the app a little bit and get some of the modes dialed in, since our best performance was actually in eco. Maybe in race mode we're just sending too much power for the traction control to handle, but this way we'll be able to try and dial it in and get some even better performance out of those other two modes. So back to Dave.
All right, like Andrew said, our best performing setting was the economy mode, and we actually went from 11 seconds down to 9.79 on the economy mode. So stay tuned and see how it comes out in our fine tuning, and we'll see you on the next episode.